welcome all of our social media friends this morning.
This morning, I'd like to read to you from Dr. Wayne Dyer's 10 Secrets for Success and Inner Peace. Embracing your divinity. There is no place that God is not. Remind yourself of this every day. It has been said, God sleeps in the minerals, rests in the vegetables, walks in the animals, and thinks in us. Think of God as a presence rather than a person. A present that allows a seed to sprout, that moves the stars across the sky, and simultaneously moves a thought across your mind. A present that grows the grass and grows your fingernails at the same time. This presence is everywhere. Therefore, it must also be in you. And if it's everywhere, it must be in that you perceive to be missing from your life. In some inexplicable way, you've already connected to all that you'd like to attract into your life by the presence of this universal, all-powerful spirit called God. And so it is. And now let's enjoy the music of Carol and the Goodfellows.
Good morning to everyone. Well, Richard, what do you think?
I think there's a healing going on. It's just what we need. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me walk to the banks of the river of love, where the current runs deep, baptized into one, where there's no separation and the light is all we see, honoring all our differences, and love will set us free. Whoa, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. And Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Oh, you're rocking my soul. Oh, you're rocking my soul. The blessings of the past, and it's time to requalify. Not forget and learn to forgive. God knows we gotta try. My responsibility to heal the wounds in me. Compassion, faith, and hope and love. Truth will set us free. Whoa, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Yeah, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Oh, you're rocking my soul. Oh, you're rocking my soul. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Yeah, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Oh, you rock my soul. Oh, you rock my soul. I said, oh, you rock my soul. Thank you.
Thank you for that inspiring music this morning. And welcome to all of you once again. Our theme for the month of May is stepping into an expanded universe. And today I am identifying a piece of that as I talk about expanding our own worldview. I want to read a quote which comes from a writer that is very well known in Eastern thought called Krishnamurti. Quote, "What we are about to undertake is an expedition together, a journey of discovery into the most secret recesses of our consciousness. And for such an adventure, we must travel light. We cannot burden ourselves with opinions and prejudices and conclusions that are, with all the baggage that we have collected over the past 2,000 years or more, needing to be released. Forget everything you know about yourself. Forget everything that you have thought you know about yourself. We are going to set off as if we know nothing." Unquote. Many teachers along the way have said to us, the beginning of wisdom is to learn how much we don't know. Isn't it amazing when we reach a certain maturity in life and we look back across the members of our particular family and friends that have been with us a long time, how much more wise they are than when we were young and looking at them. I'm thinking as a young man, and I was really then just all of 7, 8 years of age, maybe 10. A lot of my relatives who were then in their 40s, late 30s, were, quote, very, very old people. And I remember asking my mother when I was that age, and the family was talking about marking my grandmother's birthday, and she was becoming 50. 50. And I said to my mother, "How old is 50? Mom looked at me and she smiled. She said, "LeRoy, when you get to be, you'll know how old it is." That happened a number of years ago, as those of you who follow birthday patterns. And it's only the beginning of realizing how much you have learned, but how much more there is to learn. We are souls awakening to our real self in this world. The trappings that we carry of the world are our opinions, our viewpoints, our attachments. And eventually all of that, I think, needs to be surrendered to a much more complete, a much more holistic view. The view that I wish to offer a little peek at today is to be more inclusive with the world in which we live. When we can feel a unity to all forms of nature, all kingdoms, all the nations on the earth, and all men, women, and children around us. One of the experiences that all of us have shared collectively in the last year, whether we have shared it willingly or unwillingly is neither here nor there, but it's the lesson that we all have it collectively experienced as what we call the pandemic. None of us in this congregation and in much of our world at this time have ever experienced what a pandemic means. We're still learning about it, of course. But as we've learned, it's no respecter of persons. It affects everybody, men, women, and children alike. It doesn't matter your creed, it matters not your culture. It has literally spread as the word pandemic means, across the known world to every nation and country, to each of us. We've been asked by our own government, as we all know, to cooperate, to practice certain health protocols, to wear masks, to wash our hands, step away from each other in close proximity in groups. But now that's beginning to relax, as many of you know. And it feels good to be able to have more social intercourse with one another in family and friendship settings. But we still have a responsibility about ourselves to stay healthy. And we're invited to do that, as you know, not only to take the vaccine or get the vaccines that are available, but to live in a more conscious way. And I think the bigger work for us is to be more conscious of our work as a man, as a woman in the world in which we live. Because of the year-long restrictions that we've had, we've also been exposed by virtue of our media, which is 24 hours, actually 48 hours a day. You can see it on television, but you can also go to the internet if you don't get enough. And you can play it during the night while you sleep. To be inundated with all the news updates that are going on around the world. My invitation to you is to turn that off, really off. And while it's important to be made aware of what's going on in other countries, in our own country, we really need to become more conscious of who we are and not be focused only on what's missing in our culture. The pandemic has revealed some really bare circumstances for many men, for many women, for many groups. And where everything was, in a way, sort of functioning now has been revealed to fall apart and is not functioning at all. We cannot do anything about a lot of those circumstances. One of the things we can do is to donate money to causes, to charities, to large and small organizations that we know of that we can support from inside ourselves, our brothers and our sisters locally and in our nation. Now, don't be worried, I'm not going to go political on you. I'm aware that there have been millions of men and women in our country alone, not just in other countries as well, who suffer and who are in extreme circumstances of limitations and ill health and so on. We can't fix all of that, but what we can do is support what we have the ability in our own lives to care for or to connect to. One of the ways we can do that is to volunteer time in service to a local charity or to an organization that we feel connected to ourselves. This contributes to the soul of our community. You know, our president, Joe Biden, talks about reclaiming the soul of the country. And what I mean by that may be different from what he means by it, and therefore I'm not trying to confuse the two, but the soul of our community is the spiritual dimension of our friends, our neighbors, our brothers, and our sisters all over the world. So whenever you support these people by an effort in service, you support the soul of the group. And that is part of the way we contribute to one another in our world. And it increases our awareness of the plight of other men. We can't fix the plight of every man or every woman or every child, but we can make a difference by where we are and do our part in our own community. We can also support individuals, people that we know. We can be made aware of families and men and women that are part of our own life or in our own community and be of service to them in some way. This is not a new work. This is something we've been doing as a culture and as a nation, and certainly as a church. But the way we build a larger view is to keep that active. Because if you sit in front of a TV or you go online and you listen to all these varied news reports, it gets very confusing. Many different voices are speaking loudly about this, that, and the other set of circumstances and interpreting things very, very differently. Again, I'm inviting you as a church community to turn that off. Don't listen to that. You don't need to be reminded of it every day, 24 hours a day, or at least once a day, once a week. You've heard it. What I would invite you to do is put some good energy from your heart, from your soul, from your being in service to a man, to a woman, to a child, whether it's your own family or a friend or a group of friends that can find value in your exchange with them. That's how we expand our view. When we volunteer time to an organization, we are contributing to the soul of the organization, not just the work they're doing. It's not just the money that we give, if we are able to give money, or we are able to support them by time and physical effort and involvement. That too is part of the soul of the organization. When you come to this church, you are supporting the soul of the church, the activity that we put forward in the world. It is the energy that our community, our church community, is wishing to put forth out there in the world. And whenever you're here, you are making that happen. And for that, when you are able to do it, please know that I, as a pastor, appreciate that far more than I'm ever able to express gratitude for. I do thank you for that. Our church, I believe, is a force for good in our community. It's a place for healing. We come for healing. We come for community. We come more also, I think, for spiritual feed or support as we need it. And in that way, we take our place in the world where we serve the collective consciousness. The final point that I want to make this morning is to stay focused on our own inner work. At the time when Carl Jung was at the close of his earth life, and Carl Jung was known around the world as one of the great depth psychologists of his time in the 19th century. He said, when asked to whom did he leave his work, and he said, and I'm paraphrasing, to the world and to the community. And what is that work? To do the inner work, that is to do the inner healing that is needed. To get past judgments and grievances and losses and woundings and be a light into the world in which we live. I believe our work is to be a light. And we're a light every time we send out positive energy. As you know here, we offer healing every Sunday, but we offer it during the week. We have a very active prayer ministry. Many of you are involved in it. But the healing work is necessary from all of us, because every time you and I step out into the world, we offer a presence. We offer something that other people pick up. One of the things that I make it a point to do when I go to the clinic where I receive dialysis during the week, always I'm asked by the staff, "How are you, Mr. Zemke?" And I say, "I am absolutely excellent. I just feel wonderful." And several of the people that are attendants say to me, you know, I've never in 2 years heard you say anything else. And this one lady said to me just a week ago, she said, I always look forward to you. She said, you always have a smile and you make me feel good doing the work that I'm doing here. I'm not bragging about that. That's not the point. The point is that wherever I go, I want people to feel that it's a joy to be in their presence and that they are a joy for me. I don't really focus on what's missing in their life and the sadness and the losses in their life. I'm focused on being a light, and I'm inviting you to be a light where you go. To the degree that you can then, finally, support the world in which you live from the light of your heart, whether that's from the work of service, whether it's financial, whether it's physical, whether it's tangible in some way that you can look at or measure, or it's joining an organization that already is in tandem with the things that you believe in. Be a part of the light of the world during this time so that we all can feel the nearness of the presence of life that we're connected to. So be it. Thank you. And now, Andrew is here with our wonderful Mr. Nash. Good morning.
Today's message was about blessings and hope. So just always knowing that hope is always with us and for us, and we never lose that. But more about finding that place in our lives where no matter what's going on, always realizing there is a blessing. Always.
And now I would like you, congregation, to offer a blessing. If you would, turn in your program and just read together the children's blessing. We honor you, we bless you, we behold the presence of God within you. And so it is. Thank you, and thank you, Andrew. God bless. Thank you. And now let us receive the offerings that are to be taken up while Carol and the Goodfellows are going to bring us a beautiful gift in music. May the ushers please come forward.
And I just want to take this opportunity to say adieu. I will be heading back north in May. I barely got here, it's time to go. But God willing and the COVID don't rise, I will return.
So God bless you, Richard. Happy journey home.
Thank you.
And return soon.
I will. I'll do my
But
best.
leave the snow home. Okay. God bless the gifts and the gifting. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you. God bless.
Where am I? Turn up the volume.
I think this is Richard's final parting gift to you, yes?
Yeah. Wishing you love. If you got faith and you believe in what you're living for, you can stand your ground when there's trouble at your door. And a little hope can help you when the road is getting rough. 'Cause there's nothing quite like life if you got love. If you got love, you can move a mountain a little bit further down the line. You can do it all at once, or one rock at a time. You can turn an ordinary picture into a priceless work of art. It's what you can do if you got love in your heart. Now there's nothing like a real good friend to tell your troubles to. But there's just so much a real good friend can do. 'Cause it takes the good Lord's touch to chase the darkest blues away. And if you've got love, you've got what it takes. If you've got love, you can move a mountain little bit further down the line. You can do it all at once, or one rock at a time. You can turn an ordinary picture into a priceless work of art. It's what you can do if you got love in your heart. If you got love, you can move a mountain little bit further down the line. You can do it all at once, or one rock at a time. You can turn an ordinary picture into a priceless work of art. It's what you can do if you got love. That's what you can do if you got love. That's what you can do if you got love in your heart. In your heart. In your heart. God bless everyone. Thank you.